Let me do that right now, just so I don't forget. And then we can hop right into it. Like I said, my name is B. Gerchak. I'm an admissions counselor. The point of my role is to help high school students transition from high school to college through the admissions process. So whether it be submitting application materials or certain financial aid aspects like scholarships, I'm the person that students would go to. This is a little snippet about how the Ohio State Newark campus, the land that we are on, was not originally ours. And as Ohio State, we try our best to address racism and are as anti-racist as possible. And we want to dismantle institutionalized racial structures. All right, so let's talk about Buckeye life at Ohio State Newark. With me, I have Dr. John Davenport. He is the Director of Student Life, and I will pass the mic off to him to introduce himself and talk more about student life.
Pete, thank you very much. Appreciate the great introduction, and welcome to you all. Thank you for taking some time out of your, I'm sure, busy lives, especially at this time of year, to sit in and talk with us and hear a little bit about the Office of Student Life. One of the things I want to share with you before I jump into the presentation is a little bit, I want to dispel a very, very popular misconception about student life being involved and things like that at college. I know for the most part, family members, I mean, you probably heard this throughout some parts of high school. When you get to college, a lot of family members think they want you to get up, come to campus if you don't live here, go to class, use your time here to study, maybe then leave, do some work, go home, study a bit more, get up, and rinse, repeat, and do that again. We really think about college because of cost and things like that, is we want to focus on the academics in your books to get things done. And that's a very good point. That's a very true point. But what we know over 50 years of scientific research has shown us is that if a student comes and all they do is go to class, study, work, and then go back to class, they are not going to be successful at college. It holds true for large institutions, small institutions, public, private, all over the place. What we know through research is that students need to find a couple of connecting points with the university. That can be through research with a faculty member, that can be through student activities organizations and things like that. But if you have to find a couple of connecting points, some way to make college your own, then you'll be more likely to succeed. Now, the exact opposite is true as well, though. If you come to college and all you do is jump in a bunch of student organizations, play murals, join all these different groups, those students don't do too well either, right? Because they don't focus on the academics. Everything, the extracurricular becomes everything that they do. And so what we want to do at the Office of Student Life at Ohio State Newark is make sure that you have an opportunity to find some ways to get engaged or involved that fit you, that kind of touch what you need most, while balancing that with books, work, and things like that. And so our entire purpose, the reason that we are here, is to make sure that you are engaged and you have opportunities to make the best of your college experience. It's something that we take very, very seriously. And so that's why we love to have this time to get in front of you now. So as you're beginning to think about college and frame what you want to be doing in college, you're beginning to think about ways to get involved and ways to be active. Because in some ways, it's as important as some of the classes and things like that that you will select. Thank you, B. So first of all, I'm just going to talk really generally, and then I get into some more specifics throughout the rest of the presentation. What does the Office of Student Life do? Why am I listening to this dude on a Thursday night? We do campus activities and events. So that's things like homecoming, bingo nights, movie nights, things like that. We do cultural programming, which involves learning about diversity, getting involved with things different from yourself, or going to a place that supports the culture that you are a part of. Student groups, which do the exact same thing. They give you ways to connect with other students and other people who may share identities or share an interest in things like that. Leadership development programs. This is very important to us. One of the things we've known for years is that the activities that you're engaged in when you're in college, these are some of the best experiences to share with when you're looking for internships, jobs, and careers down the line. But what we found a number of years ago was that students, you may join, say, what's it called? We have an anime club. We have an anime club here at Ohio State Newark. And you get some very valuable skills to employers and life skills as a part of that anime club. But what we were finding was that students weren't being able to articulate or talk about that. And so one of the things that we do is we provide you opportunities to join those clubs, but we also help you frame that in a way that helps strengthen you on a resume, gives you things that you can talk about for internships and employment, and also in some ways helps you in the classroom because it'll help you figure out ways to take what you're learning in the outside in the real world and convey it back into the classroom. The final bullet here is service and volunteer opportunities. We realize that especially your generation is one of the most civically minded in the history of our country. And so what we want to be able to do is provide opportunities for you to get engaged with your community around the campus, on campus, and in some ways, potentially maybe even back in the neighborhoods and the communities that you're coming from if you're commuting. Volunteer opportunities and involvement are very important, and it's really deep into the ethos of what we do. And so we want to make sure that you have opportunities to find ways to do that here at our campus so you can get involved and engage in those opportunities. If we can go to the next one, thank you. So again, I talk very broadly. So now I want to talk, and I talk with my hands a lot. So please forgive me if that's freaking you out. And one of the things we talk about is just, again, some overall whys. I talk very generally about it helps you be more successful, but these are some very specific ways that getting involved is a positive thing. Again, real life experiences. When you're in the classroom, a lot of what you're going to do in the class is theoretical. You're going to read books. You're going to listen to instructors lecture. We want to give you some ways to apply some of that and learn some things in a real world setting through service opportunities, through work with the groups in the community, maybe even participating in some trips, study abroad opportunities and things like that. We want to make you more of a self-starter. I know you all are probably sick of hearing it, but I know your generation is often cited as a generation that is not very motivated or driven. By being active, we know that that's not true. And by being active in student organizations, some cases founding student organizations or joining very young groups and helping them grow, that demonstrates your initiative, your ability to take responsibility. And the last one, and I should have put that in bold, time management. Probably one of the biggest things, the biggest transitions you will have to make from where you are now to college is managing your time. The workload is very markedly different, more intense. The instructors who are here to support and really give you everything you need, but they interact with you in a very different way than they do in high school, or maybe even some other smaller colleges. So time management is something that you really grow and learn a lot about by being involved with the Office of Student Life in student organizations and things like that. We talked about the development of leadership skills, confidence in social settings. We know one of the things we love to do, we used to love to do in higher education and college is, get people and put you in situations where you're around, big groups of folks and you get to meet them and learn about them. We realize that for some people, that's kind of horrifying, right? Some people, and it's not about necessarily social anxiety, but it's about some people, you take a little while to warm up to folks and get to know folks. And that's how you form friendships and bonds and things like that. And so what we want to do is give you opportunities to develop those social skills in the way that fits for you. If you want to be surrounded by a group of 30 or 40 people, we got that. If you prefer to start in a smaller group, 3 to 5 folks, warm up to them and then maybe expand out, we can do that as well. And that's going to help you develop those leadership skills, get that confidence. And the other part is promote effective listening. Again, especially as we enter into, we're into political season, seems like everything's political. One of the things we notice is that people are having a harder time than ever listening to one another. Doing some of the programs and activities in our office, a lot of what we promote involves active listening skills. You may disagree with, you may have a very different opinion from someone, but what we want to help you do is be able to listen, hear what they say. You don't have to agree with it, but be able to hear what they say and respond to it in a way that both of you felt heard and respected. Again, I talked before about practical experience and a lot of these things. Again, I use that anime club as an example. Anime club maybe is like 10 to 15 people. You will learn a lot about interacting in a group. Some people are going to be very much leaders. We have prescribed positions, president, vice president, treasurer, secretary. We also have a lot of other positions in those organizations and other ways for you to interact. This is probably one of the most valuable skills in our world today. And we want to make sure that you get that. You'll get some of that in the classroom, but we also want to support that and help you learn about that with us in student life. Teaching you the ability to plan, manage, and make some decisions. In our organizations, you'll have the opportunity to manage funds if you so choose. You'll have the opportunity to lead groups of people and have to make decisions for groups of people. We will help you learn about these things in a safe and an effective environment that's conducive to you kind of learning at your own pace and taking your own time. And so again, we don't expect you don't go through college and magically pick up these skills. You have to work on them and develop them. And so what we will do in student life, what involvement does for you is kind of give you the reps, the practice at doing those things and helping you get better. And by the time you leave here, you will be very, very well along on that path. Assistant development of purpose. It is not unusual. And I know sometimes I say this, sometimes families push, sometimes your peers will talk to you about, well, what are you majoring in? What do you want to do? We realize sometimes you don't know, right? You're getting here, you just want to get to college, you want to get that basic set of skills, and then through some major exploration and things like that, you want to begin to put it together. What is it that I want to do with the next phase of my life? One of the examples I always use is, and I usually do this in front of a group, so forgive me, but one of the things people often hear about is college is the best time of your life. And a lot of people in older generations push that, oh, no responsibility. The way I tell people is college, on average, most folks are in college somewhere between 18 to 25. That's the median age for most people in college. I know there's some older folks who attend college as well, but the median group is 18 to 25. In America, our average age, and it's different for men and women, is somewhere in the 70s. So if you tell me, or if I tell you that your best time of your life is going to be between 18 and 25, does that mean that the other 40 plus years of your life suck and they're just nowhere near as good and you're always, longing for the glory days of college? That's not the case. What we do in higher education, what we do in student life is prepare you to make the next part of your life, the best part of your life. And so please keep that in mind when people say, oh, you should be stoked to go to college. It's the best time ever. It prepares you to have the best time of your life as you move forward. So talk to people about that a little bit. And the last thing is fun. You all have to have some time to, let your hair down, as it were, relax, just hang out with friends, have a good time, be goofy, be silly. And a lot of the things that we do give you an opportunity, again, to talk about all those other things, responsibility, skill building, confidence, effective listening, things like that. But sometimes, first and foremost, you just want to get together with your people, your crew, and just have some fun. And relax, have a good time, laugh, joke, watch something, and kind of watch a movie, a TV show. Those are the types of things that we do as well. So give you a chance to relax and just have a good time. That's very, very important to being successful in college as well. If you can go to the next one. Cultural programming. I lead off with this and I say something that it's always dangerous when I say this around admissions folks. And so, me and B are cool, so I can say this. When people talk about cultural programs or hear about diversity and things like that, they automatically assume it's like something we force upon you. Not the case at all. But what we want to do is we want you to learn about other groups. One thing I say, and I can say this as director of student life, is if your intent is to come here and study and learn with us at Newark and stay with the same exact people, do the exact things, and remain the exact same person, save some money and stay at home. There are plenty of good high-paying jobs out there that you can get and start to work and start your path that way. When you come to college, one of the things you need to be open to is exploring and learning new things. We will help you do that. But most importantly, we will help you do that in a safe and comfortable environment where you always feel you can be your genuine self and hear others express their genuine selves and know that it's a safe and comfortable environment. And so we talk about that, learning about different people. One of the best ways we have found for people to learn about others in a safe environment is FIDA. We have multiple cultural organizations: African Student Association, Muslim Student Association, Indian Student Association. Every culture brings some different things to the table in terms of food, music, movies, and media. And so what we want you to do is have a chance to experience some of those things in an environment that you're, free of stress, you're comfortable, you can ask questions, you can learn about people in a way that's nice and relaxing and a good time. And so again, hopefully you're coming prepared to do that and being open to learning something new, talking to some people you haven't talked to before, trying some things you haven't tried before. This is a time where the environment is probably the safest it's going to be for you to do those types of things. And we want to make sure that you experience that as much as possible. The other part, the world is becoming much more global. Here in Ohio, we hear about these mega companies that are coming, Intel, other places that are coming and setting up shop here in Central Ohio. But what they're doing is they are multinational companies. And what they're doing is they're looking for students who can, grow into employees and staff for them that can lead them on to the future, which is international and multinational. By coming here, working with us, experiencing different things, learning about different people and cultures, we're preparing you not just to be a citizen of Ohio, but to be a citizen of the world, and to learn and be willing to teach and open to all of the opportunities that are open to you worldwide, especially at a place like Ohio State University. This is an institution that is renowned, many of its programs worldwide. We bring some of the greatest scholars to us. And so, again, we want you to be prepared to experience that and learn from that as much as possible. So be prepared to grow a little bit culturally and try some new and different things. I talked before about leadership development. This is key because in the most effective organizations, even if you are not in a formal leadership role, a president, CEO, CFO, things like that, the skills that involve working with groups, that involve teaching and learning from others, a big part of those skills are leadership. Now, I know from Instagram to TikTok to, libraries, there are millions of, people purporting to tell you this is the most effective method of leadership. Everything from learning organization to anything you can think about. Everybody has a book on leadership. Elon Musk to, and all types of people have their books on the way to lead. What we believe in is that there is no one right way of leadership. What we want to do is help you find the way, the leadership style that best fits you, your personality, your passions, and help you develop that and grow in that particular style. We know that leadership is an individual thing. It needs to be cultivated individually. So we are going to help you do that. Find your way to become a leader, your way to involve, to lead, and take charge of other organizations and people when the time arises. But we're also going to teach you how to be a good person within a community or a group, because not all leadership involves a formal position. We will do that through our learning communities. Hopefully you've heard about those. Those are groups of students, cohorts of students who come together and have some extracurricular things assigned outside of the classroom experiences. We were always doing campus workshops. Somebody can come and talk about effective communication. Somebody can talk about managing conflict within a group, things like that. So there will always be campus workshops going on that you can participate in. We do leadership retreats. Sometimes we find that the best thing to do is to take people away from campus for a couple of days and put you in an environment where you can intensively learn and be free from a lot of distractions. We do some weekend retreats. We do some retreats over break times, things like that. And so we hope you keep your eye open and willingness to participate in those. The final thing, in a way a lot of people don't think about, is leadership development, but it most definitely is to us, are campus jobs. Some people believe I'm working because I need money. I work, study, or I just need to help, pay for gas to come back and forth, help for money to pay for my tuition, my books, and things like that. On our campus, we look at our campus jobs as ways to develop you as leaders as well. From work in the dining center over to the fitness center, our gym, to the folks who work at the front desk in our facilities office. All of our student jobs and campus jobs are designed to help you learn and grow as an individual and a person. To develop some skills. Some of it might be administrative skills. Some of it may be skills around different philosophies. Some of it might be physical skills, things, crafts and trades and things like that. Whatever the jobs are, we look at our campus work opportunities as ways for you to develop as a leader and a person. And so we want to make sure that you take care of those and you have those opportunities as much as you would choose to do. We can go to the next one. Now, student organization. Now, how do we do all of these things? Our campus, we have at any given time somewhere between 15 and 25 student organizations, or RSOs, as we call them, registered student organizations. A registered student organization is just 4 or 5 students who come together and have a common purpose. The group that you're seeing in front of you, this is our homecoming court. They do a number of things together, so we consider them an organization, especially that's active in the fall. They're built around homecoming. This year, our largest organization is a crocheting club. I can't say that word, crocheting club. We had a student who had an interest in crocheting. It was something she had just picked up. She thought others might have an interest. She comes to our office. We help put the word out, help her identify other folks. That group meet in my office in a lounge connected to the student life office. When they meet on Friday afternoons or Thursday evenings sometimes, it's not unusual for them to have 10 or 15 people 3/4 of them knew nothing about crocheting before they started. They want an opportunity to get together with other people, learn something. They're having fun. Sometimes they'll put on a movie, and they're just bonding over that common experience that brought them together. What we have to the left are some examples of some of our organizations. I try to give you a broad taste, because some can be academically focused, some can be an interest. Active Minds is an organization that does things to advocate for mental health for students. We have campus ministry groups, Newark Pride, Site Club, which is academically based. What I want to do is say about this while we're on this page. My general rule of thumb, and I tell this to students all the time, and I've been doing this for a long time, is I tell students, when you pick organizations, you pick student orgs, what you want to do, I tell people in general, think about three things. One, that's academically based. If you know what your major is, try to find an organization for it and join that organization. If you don't know what you want to major in, think about something you may want to do, find a club, and so you can learn more about that field. So one thing is about the academics, your major. Another thing is an interest, or something you want to do for fun, something you like. And so if you like I said, crocheting, if you like, the otaku club, if you like movies, we have a movie club that gets together to watch action movies. Do something that you like and is fun, so you can meet people with similar interests and things like that and have a good time. The third thing I always suggest is do something that's just totally out of right field, that you would not have thought to do. If you talk to your friends, like, you're doing that, they would be shocked. I tell people to do that, and that's what helps you learn about other people and broaden your horizons. I tell people it can be a club around a specific interest. Like, we have a number of folks who join our ASL, American Sign Language organization, for that. They think it's something cool. It's a different language. It'll stretch the brain in a different way. And they do some cool activities. And so again, one thing for academics, one thing just for you for fun, and one thing that's just totally way different from anything you would think to do before or previously, to kind of stretch your brain and stretch your mind. So if you, in the course of your time here, are active in those three different things, I think you will find you have a great collegiate experience and really learn a lot from all that we do. Our campus activities board. Now, this is one of our great opportunities that I really want to talk to people about. I talked about previous pages about the different activities and the organizations and things like that. One of the things Campus Activities Board does is, I have no problem saying it. I'm not ashamed. I'm a gentleman in my 50s. You do not want somebody, man, in his 50s deciding what activities and programs and events and movies you all watch. It's a totally different thing. So what we do at our Campus Activities Board is we bring together a group of students, we give them a budget, several tens of thousands of dollars, and that group provides some programming with or for the campus. So that group does some of the leadership workshops. They organize some of the community service. They do the karaoke, the bingo, trivia night. So we have themed trivia nights. We just came off of there was a sports related theme night, kind of in tune with the Final Four and things like that. Regular monthly movie nights. We bring together a group of students, give them the money, empower them. We advise them, and they go ahead and say that we're students. We know what students want. We're going to go ahead and create these programs for the rest of the student body. That's the way that, again, you can go from a general participant. We have a lot of people in this organization who are want to be event planners, who want to be influencers, things like that. This is their opportunity to put into practice some of the things they think they know about influencing program and event management and event planning. And they get to do it again with us. We give them a big budget, we provide them support, and we just kind of let them go. And so again, if you want to be involved with things that happen on campus, that's one part, but you can also take charge and plan the activities and things that happen on campus. And you can join Campus Activities Board the first day you're on campus. We'll have big events out, talking to people about all the different things that are happening. And so that's something I really encourage people to join our Campus Activities Board. They do a lot of great things and a lot of great work. Our next slide is just some pictures of some different student orgs, some people doing some different things. One of the things you see here in the upper right is our some folks, throwing some weight up at our campus fitness center. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Adina. I know for a lot of people, wellness, physical health is tied to mental health, healthy mind, strong body, those types of things. We have a phenomenal fitness facility over at Adina. And Adina is also where our intramurals flows out of. And so if you want to just go ahead and lift, just to relieve stress, walk on the treadmill, we have rowing machines. If you want to do yoga, we have open gym where you can do basketball, ping pong, soccer. Another student organization, another group that popped up around Adina and Fitness was fencing. Some students were in the gym one day. They noticed that we have some fencing equipment. They said, "Hey, can we check that out?" Um, they started doing it, having fun. There were 3 students. Next week, there were 6 students. The week after that, there were 12 students. Now they're up to about 15 students. They get together on Monday nights um, and practice fencing because we have that equipment and it's something that they're having a great time doing and they just want to have fun with it. So again, come over to Adina, have some fun, work out, put your earbuds on and just lift and don't listen to anybody. Or come with a group of friends and, set up a game, run a full court, run a half court, play some soccer. And we also have our intramurals. Our biggest intramurals are probably soccer, flag football, and basketball. And so with those, we do some things. We do some co-ed teams. We do some, 3-on-3. We do some full court 5-on-5. We want to do whatever the students want so they can get out and get that competitive kind of charge. A lot of you are athletes and things like that where you're coming from. So once you get that charge of competition, that physical exertion, that good workout. So when you come and participate. The other part is just take some pictures and show our groups around our beautiful campus. Again, if you have an interest or something you want to do and we don't have it, we'll help you create that and find it. The last slide that I'm going to talk about is a little bit about the Office of Student Life, some support services, some other things that we do that don't necessarily, you might not think of. I talked about internships, jobs. In our office is career development. You should be thinking about internships and things like that the minute you hit campus. And so come to our office. Tim will talk to you about how to get internships, jobs. So he can tell you if I'm thinking about a certain major, what are the job opportunities that come with that major. We have our counseling services. We have 3 trained counselors who can provide support for you if you need it through your time with us. Again, I talked a little bit about campus recreation, student advocacy. If you're having trouble with something, either with another student or with the instructor, you can come to our office and we can sit there and work with you to either help you give what you need to communicate what's going on, or we can help you and kind of mediate some things as well, because we're here to support and advocate for you. The last thing I'll say is, I know as we kick off baseball season, think about the Office of Student Life as your one-stop shop for questions. If you have any questions, this goes to family members, if you have any questions about anything on campus, come to our office when you're here or give us a call, even starting now, as you're considering, what I want to do for my college choice. If you have questions about what's going on campus, give us a call. We can answer your questions and get you the information that you need. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up, but I know there may have been some questions in the chat. I'm glad to answer those, and I'll hang out to the end if anything pops up.
Thank you, John. I'm actually going to move right along. If there are any questions, please put them in the chat. John and I can answer those at the end. So while I take over, I'm going to talk more about important enrollment facts. Again, more of the admissions side of college. So as a reminder, students who begin at the Ohio State-Newark campus and later go to the Columbus campus, we call that a transition process because we are the same university. We're just taking classes in a different location. In order to get to the Columbus campus, students need to complete 30 credit hours post high school, after high school graduation. This does not include AP or CCP classes. However, that doesn't mean we won't take them. We will. We just need you as the student to establish an Ohio State GPA first. And that GPA, the minimum requirement is a 2.0. So as long as there's 30 credit hours of Ohio State classes and a 2.0 GPA, that student can go to the Columbus campus. If we're talking timeline-wise, that would be 1 year full-time on the Newark campus. All right, same degree, same diploma. So I am living proof of it. I started my first year at Ohio State on the Newark campus, then transitioned to the Columbus campus after my first year. There is no asterisk next to my name that says B went to Ohio State-Newark her first year and her degree is invalid. That's not true at all. Ohio State is Ohio State no matter where you start. So same degree, same diploma. And even if you stay on the Newark campus for all 4 years, your degree will still say The Ohio State University. All right, let's talk important deadlines. So I can't believe it, the end of March is here. And beginning of April, late April, even into May, like we need to emphasize important deadlines. The first one being April 1st, learning communities deadlines. John had mentioned some learning communities. Those are cohorts or groups of students who all share a common interest or thread. If you have any questions about learning communities, please stay after so we can chat more about them. But the deadline for the application for learning communities is April 1st. April 15th, on-campus housing application. So if you do not know already, Ohio State-Newark's housing system is run on a lottery. So for on-campus housing, all application materials need to be submitted by April 15th. Students will receive on-campus housing information to their Buckeye mail. So if you have not already activated your student Buckeye mail account, do so, because on-campus housing application, and that leads me to my next point, the honors program. All information from Ohio State moving forward is sent to that email account. Let's talk more about the honors program. Same deadline, April 15th. All right, April 21st, I'm moving on. Ohio Means Science STEM Scholarship Program. If you have not heard of this scholarship program, it is amazing. There are specific requirements for students to get the scholarship or to even apply. So my recommendation would be, if you have any questions about it, please stay after or do your own research. All of this information is on the Ohio State-Newark website. But the specific Ohio Means Science STEM Scholarship Program is a $10,000 scholarship for up to 2 years for students who are eligible. Right now, our tuition for Ohio State-Newark is a little over $9,000. So that $10,000 would obviously cover it and then some. And that could cover, the rest of that money could cover books, parts of housing, things like that. Again, it's super important for students to apply. If you have any questions about it, please stay after and we can chat. Late April, we have placement testing and registration for orientation. I get questions all the time about this because I have so many students who I work with who are so proactive. They're like, when can I schedule classes? I have to take these placement tests. When can I do that? Let's wait until late April because orientation dates have not even been sent out yet. So again, let's just activate that Buckeye Mail student email account, wait for those dates to roll in, then we can register, then we can take the placement test. And we have May 15th. So national reply date. This just means students who want to come to Ohio State-Newark specifically, you have until May 15th to make that decision. So the deadlines leading up to May 15th, let's still hit those deadlines because it kind of sweetens the deal for whether or not you want to commit to Ohio State or Ohio State-Newark. So again, May 15th, you have until then to make that final decision. All right, important links. For applicants, go.osu.edu/just-for-applicants. This is all information that you need regarding your application process. Admitted students, these are students who have been accepted into the university but have not committed to us yet. That is go.osu.edu/admitted students. Parents, go.osu.edu/parent corner. Any questions that you have as a parent, supporter, this is a wonderful resource for you to utilize. And visits, go.osu.edu/visit Newark. We have so many opportunities for students to come visit campus. In fact, if you are an admitted student, again, that means you were accepted into the university, but you have not committed yet. We actually have an event on campus tomorrow, March 29th, called Future Buckeye Day. And this is a day just to celebrate our admitted students, get them familiar with campus. We also have another date called a Buckeye Visit Day. And that's for students just to come to campus, see if it's a good fit. Students can also meet one-on-one with their admissions counselor. someone from my team, and they can talk about next steps, scholarship opportunities, things like that. If you have any more questions or need help or just aren't comfortable staying after and chatting, or if you have to get off this Zoom, please feel free to call our admissions office at 740-366-9344 or email us at newark-askabuckeye@osu.edu. It will be sent to the correct admissions counselor that you are assigned, and they will reach back out to you. And feel free to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. On Facebook, we do have a parent and supporter group. So if you have any lingering questions, feel free to ask in our Facebook group. We do have an admissions counselor that runs all of these social media accounts too. So the information there is always accurate and up to date. And thank you so much for attending. I appreciate all of you taking time out of your busy work weeks to attend. Again, if you have any questions, please stay after. John and I will be here. And then if you don't, please hop off and we can chat later. For right now, I'm going to stop the recording. So then we can talk more about specifics.